Zombie Mr. Fantastic is about to come out in about an hour's time from right now. And yes, this is not the normal setup. I mean, we're outside and I'm currently grilling a giant piece of beef that is crusted in mustard and seasonings, as well as pork ribs with passion fruit and crushed red pepper. And that's what we do for our birthday here. So we're doing a little bit of a different take on Good or Garbage. It's not the normal edit. I know, not the normal camera and not your normal guest. So let's talk about Zombie Mr. Fantastic. He's premiering in the game in about an hour. He's a 2/2. Activate. Give the Horde +2, give the Horde +2 power, maybe? I don't know. We're all learning. And then on reveal, +2 power, activate. Look, it's been a long day. Are we going to keep that edit? Yeah, we're going to keep that edit. Because he's an on reveal, give the Horde +2 power, and then activate, give +1 power to up to 4 created cards that are on the board on your side. Close enough. I meant to say the right thing. You get the idea. Yes, this is 38-year-old guest trying to figure out how to say this without all of my notes in front of me. This is all off the top of the dome, as Harry Mack likes to say. So we're trying to figure this out with what are we going to do with Zombie Mr. Fantastic? Is he going to be the card that finally makes the Horde mechanic, which is the whole theme of the season and the whole new mechanic, actually feel like something? Because Giant Man and Scarlet Witch kind of felt like, maybe, kind of, sort of, I don't know. They were just kind of, You needed to play them together, but can you do stuff with Zombie Mr. Fantastic that works without the Horde mechanic? Is it just an extra bonus piece to it? That's what I built with today. So let's take a look at the 4 decks I'm going to be testing out today. First off is Zombie Mocking Squatch. Now, this one, obviously, for each of these decks, you're going to be factoring in, adding in Zombie Mr. Fantastic into the build. The way that this build is working is just straight up, it's a Mocking Squatch deck. It is a variation on the one that we first built for Zombie Scarlet Witch, and we're trying to do the same shenanigans, but now adding Reed into the process. I'm not 100% that this is going to be the best home for Zombie Mr. Fantastic, because look, you're going to be getting a lot of value because of Mysterio, because of Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, lots of created cards coming onto the board just from those 2 cards alone. And those are the only as I hit the mic, only synergies to where Zombie Mr. Fantastic is going to want to benefit from. But you only need 4 cards, and Zombie Mr. Fantastic creates 1 of them. So whether you're using Zombie Scarlet Witch and Mysterio to reduce Sasquatch / Mockingbird, or you happen to get the bonus that comes from Reed, I think it's a win-win nevertheless. I think that this style of deck, there's going to be some shell that works really well here. I don't know if I need to invest further, though, in the created cards area, because you get it from 4 cards in total from this deck between Kate Bishop, Mysterio, Zombie Scarlet Witch, / number 4, which would be Zombie Mr. Fantastic. So we have a couple of options to work with on how to make this deck run. Next up, created cards, you're going to think Thanos, you're going to think Thord. And no, I'm not making an Arishem deck. It's very rare I play an Arishem deck. You should know this by now, folks. This is really leaning into the Thanos that Thanos was meant to be. This is not your strange Supreme Thanos. This is a Thanos deck that's meant to have all of the stones on the board. You're wanting to get all of that extra out there, get the Horde out there, because it's an extra card that's going to make it easier for Dazzler to ramp up to a 2/8. That's the whole goal of this deck. It's just to get extra cards on the board and integrating all of the tech. Look, Red Guardian, Mobius, Shang-Chi, Stardust, Cannonball, Cosmic Ghost Rider. Technically Mercury too. Like, it's all of the tech, but it's all strong tech. Merc Ball, enough said. Stardust Mobius, enough said. Shang-Chi, you get the idea. This is a really strong tech deck that allows what a 2-drop like Zombie Mr. Fantastic wants to do, which is put a lot of power on the board. The difference is, I like this a little better than what Sam Wilson brings to the board in that same style deck, because Sam Wilson guarantees a 0 that goes down there. But that 0 always remains 0. At least with Zombie Mr. Fantastic, you have Thord type synergy, where you're getting a 2 over here and a 2 over here, but then later on you're giving another +1 to it, plus all of the stones are, well, not all of the stones, but 3 more stones are getting +1 as well. So I like that. I think that Thanos is going to make a lot of sense. So throw a bunch of tech into it and see what happens. Then we've got Zombie Reed the Conqueror. Okay. I took two different ideas and put them together. I took the Victoria Hand Bastion idea and then really dove in a little heavier into it with Kang. Yeah, okay, hear me out. So you've got King E3 and Kang. Easy pulls. Look, Quinjet's going to want to reduce it all down. Mirage is going to want to take, ideally, a lot of 2-drops like Zombie Mr. Fantastic and just get them out on the board on your side for ideally cheaper because you have Quinjet. And now throw in the whole looping action of Victoria Hand, Frigga, Bastion, put it all together. I think it's kind of a winning combo because now you've got 2 different play lines which you can go down. Plus, you have variants. You have Kang. You have that unknown piece in there, but you're not relying on exclusively one package. It's not Victoria Hand only relying on a demon package and hoping you don't have Killmonger. It's, look, you can either go down path A or path B, or even just go down the whole Victoria Hand, Frigga, Bastion, just get that whole thing back up and running and just play off of those 3 cards alone and scale your power stupidly. It all works the same way. So I think that Zombie Reed's going to want to benefit from this because there's a lot of created cards between either the Demon and the Bastion cards and the Kangs that it's going to be a pretty solid synergy. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun for Zombie Reed, trying to benefit that. And then lastly, as I notice there's a capital in the wrong place, and that's going to bother me until later, I want to hear in the comments if anybody gets this reference, because you'll make me very happy. The name of the deck is Chest, Chest, Hips, Turn, Huh! If you get it, you get it. So basically, what we're doing here is we're playing all of the zombie cards that currently play board. And we want Zombie Giant Man, we want Zombie Scarlet Witch, and we want Zombie Mr. Fantastic. We also have Grandmaster, because Grandmaster was a key piece to making Zombie Giant Man really do the things you wanted it to do. And it was a nice play on turn 6 to not only get more power, but more importantly, to move the power into the center lane. And I like that a lot for this style of deck. Agent Venom feels like a weird fit here, but it makes a load of sense because this started off as a Bast Agent Venom style deck, which you could absolutely also do with Reed. I decided to go down this path and get rid of that Bast and go into Thena as just another play line, because a lot of what this deck is going to organically want to do is play 2 cards per turn. So playing Thena on turn 2 doesn't ever feel like a bad thing. Whether you're playing Agent Venom, Hawkeye Kate Bishop, or Thena on turn 2, or, you know, that new card we're making the whole video about, Zombie Mr. Fantastic, you're in a great scenario nevertheless. So it's a great situation here. I like what this deck is going to bring to that archetype, because Negasonic Teenage Warhead is still valuable at 4/3 because you're destroying a card. Same thing with Prodigy. Prodigy can take on the Thena. It can take on the Grandmaster. It can take on the Zombie Scarlet Witch and the Reed as well with the other Activate, etc. There's a lot of fun things we can do with this one. Just really embellishing on the power of the Horde and just throwing in a little bit of synergy with Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. That's all it needs. You don't need too much else in here. You don't need to maximize what Zombie Mr. Fantastic wants to do, which is get all of the cards, to get all of the power. That's not realistic for what I think this deck wants to do the best. So that's how we're starting it. We're going to go back to grilling. I'm going to go ahead and turn this, as it's getting a little bit of a crust now starting to form. And, well, we'll see you all in a couple of hours. Transition. All
right, so we're back in the office. I didn't do a resolution at the end of the barbecue stream for my birthday yesterday because I didn't feel like I gave it a proper chance and a proper go looking at the statistics for Zombie Mr. Fantastic. Now, we've been, live here on Wednesday for the last 4.5 hours, trying those same decks again. And as expected, I did better. But does that mean I actually did well with Zombie Mr. Fantastic? Generally speaking, I think that Zombie Mr. Fantastic is a decent card. But I think he's a decent card because of what he presents to other archetypes more than the actual Horde archetype right now. He wants to be with Zombie Scarlet Witch, but every time I put him there, it's just underwhelming. The Thanos deck was probably my favorite deck because I feel like it has the answer to everything in it. I mean, look at the amount of tech in this deck right now. It's wild. It just fills beautifully because it's a deck that wants you to specifically have your stones on the board. So I'm going to experiment with Dazzler being taken out, maybe either Sam Wilson Cap or maybe Strange Supreme, but this one did benefit tremendously. Zombie Mr. Fantastic felt really good in here, and then it just felt just like a solid deck that wants to fill the board. So I enjoyed it. I think this one is probably going to be there's going to be a variation of this that ends up being really, really good. I'm just not 100% sure what that is yet. You know, maybe it's because we have Cosmic Ghost Rider and Red Guardian, we just take out putting Cosmo or Luke Cage or something. I don't know. We got to figure it out. But there's something here that feels really solid. The Mocking Squatch deck was okay, but again, it just felt underwhelming. Whether it was with the Mysterio clones or with Kate Bishop's arrows, it just felt underwhelming. And yeah, you got the pieces to sometimes work, but right now with Zombie Scarlet Witch at 3-2 and Hope Summers at 3-4, constantly trying to make that synergy work, it always feels clunky in the exact same ways that Hope Summers and 3-cost Elsa Bloodstone feel clunky together. It's the same thing. There's no organic line. So it just felt like meh. And then I did the deck with everything in it. I did all the zombies, Zombie Scarlet Witch, I did Zombie Mr. Fantastic, and Zombie Giant Man. And it just absolutely confirmed for me that those cards need help. Because, dear God, while focusing, it still did awful. It just did awful. Plain and simple. I tried, and I thought it was a pretty decent build, and it just sucked. So it's not even looking at just today. If I look at that deck the last 2 days, I did better yesterday than I did today, and the deck just did absolutely garbage. But today, with the Kang deck, which felt good, it needs a little tweaking, but I think there's something there with the Victoria hand, Zombie Mr. Fantastic, Kang. Like, this deck could be something. King of E3, I didn't really feel like I got the most value out of, so I'll probably take that out to tech in something else. But I wanted Bastion to be better, to be that second line for Victoria hand. I just never got that really cooking. It didn't feel necessary, but it felt like a potential deck. There is something here. I'm just not sure what. If we look at the last 2 days, you can tell, I mean, this is just garbage. I did not play this deck well yesterday, but sitting down and being able to focus on the deck today, I did much better with it. And then Mocking Squatch, I did basically the same. Straight up. Those are the last 2 days, and then this is just today. So how do I land on Zombie Mr. Fantastic? He's good, but not in Horde, which speaks to other problems, right? I think that we're at a place where the moment Zombie Scarlet Witch gets better, the value just goes way up. Right now, 3-2 Zombie Scarlet Witch sucks, and 5-3 Zombie Giant Man sucks. It's not hitting the Gilgamesh numbers you would expect a 5-cost card in an archetype to do, just like what Gilgamesh did. And they had to buff Gilgamesh, and then now he's a strong option for the deck, but not mandatory for the deck. Zombie Scarlet Witch is the same way. It's the equivalent of Marvel Boy in that build, and it needs help. But Zombie Mr. Fantastic, the fact that he was flexible enough to be in other decks really felt good. Mockingbird is probably his best synergy right now. And then go ahead and build your Mockingbird deck from there. I think we're on the precipice of seeing Thanos re-rise to his former glories, and I'm not sure what that final version looks like. But what I do know is that right now, tech feels very good. And we need to get ready for that because we were blessed with the Synthezoid takeover, and then we had no tech. And now we're in the middle ground of people still not playing into it. But the second you use it, oh dear God, it is necessary. So I think Thanos is about to make a comeback, and I think Zombie Mr. Fantastic is a great fit for that deck. I think Zombie Mr. Fantastic is worth your tokens because he will continue to get better and better and better. And he's a card that doesn't need to have the Horde specifically be his best part. He's a 2/8, guys. I mean, he's 2/2 on base. He makes a 0/2 and then can add up to +4 on the board. He's a 2/8. So decks that have tokens, he's going to want to be a part of. I do think he's worth your investment. I do think you should get him. I think he is good. He is not garbage. We'll talk about Zombie Scarlet Witch and Zombie Giant Man another day, though. But I don't know. We're about to head into Sanctum Showdown, get the Hunger, see if that actually helps strengthen that whole crew as a 1-cost skill. But let me know down below. Let me know what you think. Are you going to invest in Zombie Mr. Fantastic if you did not get the season pass? Maybe I'll just happen to pick a random comment down below and give away some PAX borders. Maybe. Keep an eye out. I'll talk to you in the next one, everyone. Thank you so much. As always, see you next time.